Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live on this Thursday. I'm running a little behind today. The market's already open, so I'm already here on the 5-minute chart, kind of watching things. How is everyone? Everyone good? Sorry I'm a little behind. It's going to be a short stream. I really only wanted to get on here to kind of talk about trading. I see some folks getting absolutely wrecked and kind of, I think, upset, and it's just not necessary. So I think the problems are in the fundamental understanding of setting up your trades. So we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit today and go from there. But we'll watch the market open here for just a few. How is everyone? Who we got in here? Johnny number 5. What's up, crew? Mighty Max. Salt Chain. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. The market is open. They're not doing anything yet. Bitcoin kind of dumped through the night, but then rebounded. You can see Asia trended down. Somebody asked in Discord what the U.S. was going to reverse the big dump, and there's really not a dump. I mean, there was a dump, but then the U.K., before they closed, reversed it all the way back exactly to the dang dollar of Asia open. So it looks like a dump, but it's really sideways. I mean, this is where Asia opened. That's where the UK retraced it to. So open, retrace. So not really a dump at all, even though you had a dump in there. So really don't know. You got a UK low down here. You got an Asia high up here. UK took out Asia low, so there's really no info for us to glean here. You could come take UK high and Asia high, or you could come for the UK low. I do know, guys, if you get into this stuff here, you could absolutely rip to the upside. You have all of these wicks to the upside. None of them have been mitigated. So we'll see what they want to do. We're just going to watch it here for a minute. And then we're going to talk about trading and setting up your trades. How about that catchy thumbnail? No real thumbnail today, y'all. I was out, and I just kind of ran in here and threw it on real quick. We did catch the short trade yesterday. The dang red box short trade, guys. I entered 2 shorts here. Had one from a little lower. One there was I think a daily level in here yesterday. I don't know. So somewhere about here. I've already removed it. And then of course we had the big 3 relatively equal highs up here that we talked about. So I did enter on this daily. We got about 5%, went into some drawdown, took out the relative equal highs, which I talked about, and that's where I entered upon the SFP swing failure pattern of that. I entered a second short and wrote it down, and I closed that out this morning. I actually had a limit order set right here, right down here, which I closed it out at, about 76.9 right in there. Had a limit order set in the night, and we hit it. In case you're wondering where I got that limit order from, and why I chose that level, even though we could continue lower, I didn't want to go through what we're going through now, which is a big old bounce. So, and I didn't want to miss it. But you can see here we had a clear descending triangle in this area. And then when we came back to it, we clear resistance there. So support and resistance right there. So boom. That is where I got the level from, a very clear support and resistance level. So strong chance we would get a good bounce from there. And we did, possibly even a reversal. So rather than playing with it, I went ahead and closed the trade out, and not too shabby though. We made $2,500. So this thing could certainly continue much lower, and my intention was not to close this. I just put a limit close there in the night just in case it hit, and I went to sleep, but I was actually awake when this happened. I was just drinking coffee and doing other things, and I forgot to cancel my limit order. So otherwise, I would have TP'd probably about 50% right there. Probably about 50%. All good though. We made 2,500 bucks in, I don't know, about 12 hours. So pretty dang good. US kind of doing nothing. Literally exactly where we opened at. Let's see. We don't even have a 5-minute vector open yet. Did the same thing yesterday though, and then got the big move down. Actually, big move up first. Guys, are you, I talked about this in Discord earlier. Are you guys trading your altcoins yet? Anybody on the altcoins yet? We're doing some spot trades. My goal, I told everyone my goal was to start out with X amount of coins for a particular asset and then 5 to 6X that number of coins before the next cycle started. That way, whatever you were going to make, let's say you were going to make 100 grand, I'm just picking a number, you could now, if you were able to successfully do that, and assuming it hits your targets, you can now make $500,000 to $600,000 without investing a single nickel more than you did initially. I showed these earlier today, but I started on WorldCoin and Fetch AI, but WorldCoin I showed today. February 1st, I bought 140,000 WorldCoin right there. And then as of today, I just bought 309, right at 310,000 WorldCoin. So more than doubled my holdings so far, and I've not invested a single penny extra. Just buying the dumps and selling the pumps. Most of these trades I've given in Discord as I take them and as I sell. WorldCoin, we'll take a look at it real quick while we're watching a whole lot of nothing. WorldCoin previously, last cycle, was a $12 asset. I don't think it'll go to $12 again. You got a whole lot of token unlocks going on. Tokenization is not the greatest, but it does have potential. However, at 100, this is what I try to teach people, that the big paydays are spot trading alts, assuming they do a little something. But about 104, let's say this $12 asset only went back to $3, just $3, okay? Just $3, which would be right about here, okay? Right about in here, this heavy traffic area, okay? Just went to there and didn't even bother to go all the way up to $12 like it did before, okay? Just $3. That is 25% of what it did before. At 140,000 coins, which was my initial investment, I would make $420,000. However, now I have 310,000 coins, so if it goes to $3 right now and I do nothing else, I'm now making $930,000, so over double what I would have made just doing some easy, simple spot trades. Just spot trading alts. They add up faster than you think, too. A lot faster than you think. I'll give you an example. Let's say you bought WorldCoin right now, and we're just picking it because we're on it, okay? Let's say you had $10,000, right? You bought $10,000 times, let's say it's at 26 cents, okay? That gives you 38,000 WorldCoin, right? Let's say WorldCoin goes up 10%, okay? I don't even have to do a calculator to this, 10%. You had $10,000, 10% is $1,000. Now you're going to have $11,000, okay? Follow me, okay? Now you have $11,000. This is important, guys. I'm telling you, this is how you're going to make a boatload of money. So you had a 10K initial, right? 38.4K coins, okay? Let's say that went to $3. I'm just going to show you if you did one trade. Oops. 38,400 times 3. That's going to give you $115,000. Okay. Now let's say this thing goes up 10%, just 10%, okay? So then you're going to have, there we go. Then you're going to have $11,000, right? So now you're going to have 11K rebuy because you're going to go up 10%. You're going to sell for $1,000 profit. And let's say it comes back to where you were plus 5% down. So then it drops down 5%, which means it goes to 24.8 cents. Now watch, this is where it gets interesting. You're not just adding $1,000 to it. So now you got $11,000, dang it, divided by 0.248. Now you've picked up 44.3K coins. And if you took that times $3, you make $133,000. Boom. So with that one little $1,000 trade, you $1,000 profit that you made on that, you actually turned that into $20,000 more. Just by a simple spot trade. That's it. And that's all I'm doing. That is all I'm doing. You were able to add, 6,000 coins. That is almost 20% to your stack. Almost 20% to your stack. Just by doing a $1,000 profit trade. So you get 10% right up. You're not adding 10%. You wait till it comes back down 5%. You rebuy with your initial plus your $1,000 profit, and you're adding 20%, guys. It adds up fast. Joe, what's up, bro? Moin Marcus. All right, US doing a whole lot of nothing. Let's talk about this trading. If you're getting wrecked trading, we need to talk about this, okay, guys? We need to, and I know there's some guys in here that have been trading with me for years, and they get it. Okay, so let's talk stop losses and margin and things like that, okay? If you don't understand this at any point, please stop me, but this is the nuts and bolts of it. I see a lot of people not letting their trades develop, okay? I had a couple people message me yesterday. They got in this trade. I got in this trade twice. I just showed my P&L from this morning, $2,500 profit. I closed the copy trade at about a 7 or 8% profit, 9%, something like that. I don't remember. But that was the other trade that I took on KCEX. So here is the box. Now let's say, first of all, I don't remember where the entry was. So there was a daily level somewhere in here. We entered on copy, and then I entered on the SFP here on KCEX, right? But let's just say, for whatever reason, you entered at the base of the box, right? You just did. That's just whatever reason, that's what you did. Well, do you know how to determine where your liquidation point is without looking on MEXC or KCEX or an exchange or using a calculator? If you're using an X multiplier like 20x leverage, consider that like 20%. Okay? Okay, follow me. 20% times 5 is 100%. That means Bitcoin can go 5% the wrong way before you get liquidated. Okay? Seriously, if you don't believe me, go plug it in. So if you entered here, to go to the top of the box is only 1.3% at 20x leverage. You could have come all the way up here to 82.5K before getting liquidated. So if you entered this trade for whatever reason at the bottom of this box, the bitty bottom of the box, there is no reason that you should not still be in this trade. There's no reason whatsoever that you cut this trade at 1%. None. That is a very small stop loss range. Very small, okay? 1% is small, okay? If you're not allowing this, it's for one reason and one reason only. Your drawdown dollar amount, your percentage drawdown is not much. It's 1 freaking percent. At 20x leverage, you still have 80 more percent you can go. So the problem is your dollar amount is too great here, which means you have too much of your account on there, okay? You need to pay attention to this. So when you enter a trade, guys, first of all, you should really, the most profitable traders, I don't care what people tell you with stop losses, this and that. They're lying or they don't know what they're doing, okay? People who use stop losses are usually, I'm not saying you shouldn't use stop loss, but are usually over leveraged. And so for them to allow the full amount of liquidation would absolutely wipe out their account and be devastating. That is reckless trading, okay? And you do that because, you know, when it goes your way, you want the massive payday. And I get that, but that is not how profitable long-term traders. They say like 98% of traders fail. The 2% do what I'm about to tell you. And there may be some exceptions that do it differently. And I'm talking day trading. I'm not talking scalp trading. Okay, so if I want to, I have two options here. Two options. Me, how I trade. This is a 1% box, okay? So if you believe in this box, you could actually enter your whatever you want to enter on 100x leverage, and you could come all the way to the top of the box before you get liquidated. 100x is 100%, okay? Or you could keep it at 20, and then you can go 5% the wrong way, which means you can come all the way up here. 5%. Let's mark that out. Right there, 5%. I should have done this on a blank chart. All right, the white lines. You could enter there and you don't get stopped out till there. You don't get liquidated till there. So if any of you closed your trade here, still in this box, you didn't even allow 1%. That is, you will never be profitable. What you do, guys, so that you can allow yourself all the way to liquidation if you want, is don't put so much money on your trade. Don't put so much of your account, okay? Let's say you have $10,000 that you're willing to lose on trading, okay? You don't want to lose it. It would suck, but you're willing to. That's what you've delegated. That, you know, it is not bill money. It is not whatever. Like, it's not college tuition. This is money that, you know, you don't want to lose, but you want to try to invest this and win, right? You want to try to profit from this. But if you lose it, you know, it's not the end of the world, but you get it. This is what you're willing. You've accepted that as a possibility you will lose this, right? Okay. Most people are going to put all 10K in their account. Most. Some people might divide it and do 5K and 5K in two accounts, but most people are going to put all 10K. Again, some might divide it. Most people don't do anything other than one of these two, okay? That is wrong. That is wrong. Okay? What that causes you to do is things like this, like cut your trade before you should, because you have to allow the zone drawdown. Matter of fact, you wouldn't have lost anything till you came way up here and you didn't even come freaking close. Okay? What you do, if you have the 10K, you take whatever you're comfortable with, but in this illustration, let's take 1,000. I'm going to put $1,000 on this trade. And I'm okay. If I lose this $1,000, I am okay. I am okay. No problem. I am willing to lose $1,000 right here. I'm going to put $1,000 here on 20x leverage, and I'm going to allow this sucker to run all the way to liquidation. If you want to use a stop loss, fine. But at least use it at the correct dang spot, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put $1,000 on here, and I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride, okay? And if I lose it, I'll lose it. I don't care. I literally don't care if I lose it because I don't have my full 10K on this trade. 10K here would be devastating because that is my entire account, right? That'd be devastating. But $1,000 is only 10%. I'm okay if I lose that. And if that's too much for you, then you reduce it to $500. And of course, you can still use a stop loss. I'm not saying don't use a stop loss. But at least allow your drawdown. You have to. But I'm telling you, the more profitable traders are going to go all the way to liquidation. They're just not going to liquidate their entire account. Hear me, guys. They're not talking about liquidating their entire account. They're talking about liquidating their position size for that trade. Okay? There's a massive, massive, massive difference. If I have 100 grand and I put $1,000 on this trade and I get liquidated all the way, it goes to 5% against me and I get liquidated, I've only lost 1% of my account. 1%. I'm okay with that. And you know what it does? I become a more profitable trader because I stop closing trades before I should. I stop being afraid of how much I'm going to lose at this level or getting liquidated at this level. I don't care. I have 1% or even 10%. Okay, and why do I not care if I lose 10% of my whole account? I don't care because I'm taking high risk to reward trades. And here is a chart. It's a TradingView chart. If you were taking 3 to 1, on the left you can see the 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. I call it 3 to 1, but you can call it 1 to 3, which is what I aim for. 3 to 1, 1 to 3, right? The green and red shows whether or not your overall account will be in profit or loss. If you won 20% of your trades, that's 1 out of 5. You'd be at a loss. Your profit loss. If you only won 30%, that means you lost 70% of your trades, you would still be in profit. You'd still be in profit at 3 to 1 risk to reward. So you've got to stop closing your trades too soon. You've got to allow them to run all the way to liquidation. You just don't let your entire account run all the way to liquidation. You only put on the trade what you're willing to lose on that. And again, if you still don't want to run a liquidation, I'm telling you you're going to be way more profitable if you do. But if you still don't want to do that, at least allow your full zone. But just lower your margin. If you have 10 grand to trade with and you have 5 grand on a trade, you have to be willing to lose that 5 grand. And most people aren't, because that's half. That's 50. I'm not willing to lose. If I have 100 grand, I'm not willing to lose 50,000 on one trade. I'm not willing to do it. So you know what I do? I either don't take the damn trade, or I lower it down to 10 grand or even 5 grand, which I am willing to lose. I am willing to lose because I know at 3 to 1 risk to rewards, I only have to win 30% of my trades to still be profitable. But guys, this is your trade. Like you have to understand, a trade is not just an entry and an exit. Okay? It's a lot more than that. This is not your trade. Entry and exit. That is not your trade. This is your trade. Okay? That's your trade. I have to be willing to execute my full plan, which is enter in this zone somewhere and be willing to ride it up to here and come down to here. I have to be willing to do that. You have to. I'm telling you. If people are telling you otherwise, I'm telling you they do not pay cash for houses. We do. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you. Don't listen to those other people. Allow your drawdown. I'm telling you. But just don't over leverage. You can use as much leverage as you want. If you're again, you can use, this is a 1% box. So you can use 100% leverage, 100x leverage, and you would still not get liquidated until you hit the top of this box. So if you're willing to lose that $1,000, like you're totally cool, you lose that $1,000, feel free to 100x leverage this. Your account will be liquidated. It still doesn't mean close your trade beforehand, because then you're not taking 3 to 1 risk to reward trades. You're taking a trade and you're not allowing the one, right? 3 to 1 means 3% to the downside, 1% to the upside, right? Bitcoin's already done over 3%. This is already better than a 3 to 1. Just in this move right here, it's better than 3 to 1. So I won this trade for $2,500. I can lose my next 3 trades. I can lose my next 3 trades at 3 to 1. Yeah. I can lose my next 3 trades. I can lose, my next 3 trades and still be profitable. Still be profitable. So this is the main reason I came on today. I wanted to talk about this because so many folks aren't allowing their drawdown, and the ones that are riding it all the way to liquidation, they have their entire account on there. You can't do that. So if I would have kept this trade, let's say I kept this trade, let's say you had 10 grand, okay? So I just want to make sure we're ironing this thing home. 10 grand, entered the trade at the bottom of the box, which we didn't, but let's say you did. I really don't know where we entered it, but let's just say you come, where did I mark this out? Right here. Is that 5%? Yeah, that's 5%. That's where you get liquidated, right? That's where you lose $1,000. You're on 20x leverage. Let's say you closed out where I did. You had $3,000 or at $1,000. I'm sorry. In this example, you took $1,000, 20x leverage, 20 grand times 315. I mean, you made $630. Is that going to buy you a house? No, but you made $630. Okay, and you could that's just from where it went. Now it could come significantly lower, of course. But you made $630. That's really good on a $1,000 trade. It's really good on a $1,000 trade. You made 63%. A couple of the, and then you roll that back over. So next trade you can put $1,600 on it instead of $1,000 because you're playing with house money now. It's profit. And next thing you know, you win 3 or 4 of those trades, and you're at $3,000, $3,000 trades at 20x leverage times .0315. Then you're making $1,900 on this same trade, okay? But you've earned that through 3 wins. You didn't just put most of your account or your entire account on one trade. You earned it through 3 wins, and if you lose that grand, so what? Because you only have to win 30% of your trades to be profitable. And you're going to do way better than that. But I'm just saying, worst case scenario, you only have to win 30%. So if you do lose that grand, don't stress it and be afraid to jump back in the next trade and do it exactly like you do it, because you're not going to win them all. You're going to lose some trades. And that's okay. You just have to win 30% of them and you'll still be profitable, assuming you're on 3-to-1 risk to reward. So just kind of encouraging you guys, you should never have your entire account or most of your account or anything that you're not willing to lose on one trade. So before you click that button, say, okay, self, if I ride this all the way to liquidation, am I cool with that? Am I okay losing that? Like, I don't want to, I get it, but am I okay with that? And if the answer is yes, then tell yourself yes and just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it do its thing, and if you lose it, you lose it. Step back up in the batter's box on the next one and swing for the fences again. And you're going to be very profitable. I'm telling you, you're going to be very profitable. And compound your wins. Put your profit back in. Even if you take some out, you win $600. Leave 300 in, take 300 profit out, whatever you want to do, or leave all 6 in, whatever. And then when you get to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on trades, don't change a thing. And keep it at 20x leverage, and you're still allowed 5% drawdown before you get liquidated. And just let your trades develop. I'm telling you. And as long as you're picking good levels, like we had really good levels in here. For example, we had a daily level here. This was a fib. This was a golden pocket. And we were looking at these relatively equal highs over here that we wanted to take out for liquidity. So we had a GP. We had 3 relatively equal highs. And we had a daily level. That is a lot of confluence, guys. Could you have blasted through and lost? Sure, and that's going to happen sometimes. But there is a very, very high probability, especially with the liquidity grab, which is what actually drives the market. None of this other crap drives the market. Liquidity drives the market, especially with a liquidity grab. I mean, the next liquidity spot was like 7% higher. 7% higher. They're already driven the market up just from this point, I don't even know what day this is. They'd already driven the market up 6%. What are the odds they go up 13%? You just don't see 13% moves very often in Bitcoin. Once every couple of years, maybe. What are the odds of them coming up there? So chances are they were just coming for this liquidity, and we knew that. So we were there waiting on the trade. And so what if we lost 1%? So what? Yeah, that would be 20% of your trade. So you got to make sure your trade is not too big, too much of your account. And that's if you took the stop right here at the top of the box and didn't ride it all the way to liquidation. You'd lost 20%. So if you had $1,000 on this trade, remember our $10,000 account, put $1,000 that we're willing to lose at liquidation, and you decided you wanted to cut it here at 1% at the top of the box, cool, you only lost $200. You only lost $200. But instead, you made over $600, hence 3-to-1 risk to reward. It's a perfect trade setup. I mean, freaking perfect. Actually, even better, because not only did you already get your 3-to-1, this one has massive potential for much larger downside if you can get into some of this. I mean, literally, I have the freaking box on here that's been on here. I'll show it to you again. I drew this on here last, I think, Friday for you guys. Look at the potential for this sucker. Drew it on there. Still on there. Still got it on there, guys. Same box. Same everything. We still have not mitigated this box. That is over 6-to-1 risk to reward. And that's just to the key level. If you break that key, guys, you're coming for 60K. And you know what that makes that then? That's a whole lot if then that, I know. But that makes it almost a 10-to-1 risk to reward. 10-to-1. So if you got stopped out of this trade already, guys, you're massively over leveraging your account. And that's not what trading's about. Trading is about winning trades, not winning the lottery on every trade. Max says, I'm with you. I used to do the same thing. Now I don't, and losses don't faze me. I'm very profitable overall now. This was a big key. Johnny says, I second that. Max, big key. You have to let your trades breathe. Yeah, you got to let them breathe. Salt chain. I used to struggle with this when I did the mentorship program with you and you showed me this. I tried it your way, and I've been profitable since it finally clicked. Yeah, I'm telling you. There's a reason you see YouTubers and stuff put these boxes on here. I mean, because they know you have to allow the drawdown. You have to allow it. And what they're willing to lose from this point to this point is what they put on the trade. You guys want to make $20,000 on every trade, and it just doesn't work like that. The people that show you those profits like that, let me tell you something. The people that show you those profits, there's a few exceptions, maybe very profitable, but most of them are losing their ass. And every once in a while, they catch a $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 trade, and they go live and show it. But they're losing their ass because they're over leveraged. They have too much of the account on there. Most, not all, but most of them. Don't do that. They'll tortoise and hare, man. The tortoise will win every time. Slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. And yeah, if you have a really good key level that you're just, freaking certain, and the moon and stars are lining up and all the divergences, and you're at the most key confluenced area ever, and you just want to throw a little extra on there, go for it. But still be willing to ride the drawdown and lose it. If that number is too great, if it makes you scared, if it spooks you, it makes you you get up the top 2/3 of this box and you want to cut it, then you're over leveraged, period. You got to allow it. because look how deep it came into this box and then still reversed. But there were several levels below, daily levels, start of the 618. I mean, it could have reversed from any one of these. You don't know that. I entered 2 trades here. Entered one there. I rode the drawdown, wound up being a winner, closed it for 7, 8, 9%. Entered one here, wrote it down for, 80%. Both winners. Neither one of them left the 1% box, which still, even if it had, I still had 4 extra percent here before I lost my $3,000. And I was okay. I know I gave you a $10,000 and $1,000 example, but I have a much larger account. I've been working on this for years, so I was okay losing $3,000. I didn't care. Didn't care in the least bit. I lost a big trade the other day. You guys know about it. I lost a big trade, and that's okay. I came right back and won that back and then some on this next trade because I only have to win 30% of them. We win a lot more than that, but you don't have to. Let's look at Bitcoin, still doing a whole lot of nothing. Still doing a whole lot of nothing. So good job on the trade yesterday. I'm going to get out of here pretty quick. Just a short, I just really wanted to teach you guys this. I'm telling you guys, just try it. Let these trades develop, and if you lose the trade, so what? Who cares? As long as you don't have too much of your count on there, you're fine. You'll win it back on the next trade. So any of you just joining us, not sure what we're talking about, please go rewind 15, 20 minutes. Telling you, it could change everything. Salt Chain, Johnny, Max, all of them said it's changed their game when they just finally clicked with them. Guys, go back to the beginning. Watch the WorldCoin section. I've already shown you I've more than doubled my spot holdings already. And we haven't even started the bull run. Not even close. I've more than doubled my holdings. I plan to 5 to 6x those just spot trading. And you don't have to have, $50,000, $100,000 to invest. If I 5 to 6x my holdings, you can 5 to 6x your holdings. Well, that's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $500, whatever. It can be done. The point is, at the end of the cycle, you should make 5 to 6 times more than you had originally planned. All right, guys, Bitcoin doing nothing. Market just kind of frozen. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be in Discord. Let me know if you have any trading questions there, guys. But it's going to be okay. Just going to be okay. I encourage you to go back and rewatch this portion. Yeah, Joe, hopefully it does, brother. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. But, yeah, just allow that drawdown, bro. And I don't know if you are or not. I really don't know. You and I don't chat much about your trades. And I don't know how much you're putting on your trades or how much drawdown you're allowing. But, just go rewatch that if you will, brother. I encourage you. And I'm always here. DM me if you need me, guys. DM me if you need me. I don't mind helping. I give you my trades. I tell you if I close a trade. I tell you when I take it. And I know folks are seeing these dang boxes play out. So trust the boxes. Trust the boxes. All right, guys, I'm gone. Hope you all have a great day. Market's doing nothing right now. So, but watch out now. If you get into this week right here, about 78.3, they're probably going to come for all of this quick, right? You get into those. Really that main one right there at 78.3. If you take that out and don't immediately reverse, and I mean immediately, then you're going to come take it all. Okay? I mean, you could just look, sometimes they just liquidity grab the first one. But if they go beyond the first one, they almost always get them all. Just gunpowder, 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 gunpowder. But sometimes you'll see them just get the one and rotate down. So we'll be watching for this here. Possible short trade here. But if you come get the next one, you're taking them all. So possible breakout long trade, which I don't really do, but a lot of people do. So But I guess even if you don't do breakout long, my point is I would only be interested in a short trade if they grabbed this first one and rotated it, started the rotation down, swing failure pattern. If they came up for anything more than that one, I'm not interested in a short because they are coming for it all. So possible rotation down here, not very likely to rotate down here, more likely to come for it all. So possible short trade here, negative on the short trade here, or here, or here. Definite possible short trade here, though. All right, guys, it's a good day. I love you guys. The Lord loves you. I will see you next time.